Welcome back to the Tuto Money Super 1 British Karting Championships. It's Junior X30 up next with Reggie Dewey and Sean Butcher on the front row from Westover and Wilkinson. Kilner, Lloyd, Herbert, Jean, Edgar and Taylor round out the top 10. It's going to be a really interesting battle with several drivers trying to find their way through. Keep an eye on Caden McQueen from 12th, Teddy Pritchard-Williams from 15th. Morgan Porter from P21 could be worth a punt. And so too Tyler Reid from the 15th row of the grid. And it's raining with the drivers all on slick tyres. Cue pandemonium. Look at that. Everybody going off the grass there on the run to the Lichfield Bridge as everybody cannons to the outside line on the Lichfield Loop. There's no grip on the inside line. And look at the rain. It is very heavy indeed as drivers desperately try and work their way through. Still in the lead is the 66 of Reggie Dewey as the rest of the field just tiptoes their way through, trying desperately to make sure they're not going to go off the road. Now there's the championship leader, Louis Westover, trying to win for the championship. He's been hit! He's been hit! And 2, 3, 4, 5 karts go off the road there. At that point, there's even more joining them. And there's 2 on the infield as well. It's absolute carnage.
Pandemonium. Louis Westover's gone through the back. You can just see him in the background. Is he going on? Now, if he carries on, doesn't turn round.
Yeah, I think he's cut through to the other side of the circuit now. If he doesn't come back, then surely he's going to be Dr. Lap. That's Alex Lloyd spinning mid-corner. You can see him there. Now, it looks to me, Alan, as though maybe he might have come back. I think Westover has turned around and come back on the circuit.
Yeah, I think he has come back through, and in that case, he won't lose a lap. There's all sorts of carnage
Look at
going
all of
on
this.
here.
How do you pick your way through?
Because they're all on slicks. You can see a kart being contacted from behind. Not a surprise, somebody in the middle of the corner facing the wrong way.
How do you pick your way out of this? This is absolute bedlam as the drivers try their best to get themselves through the corner without too much drama. But there's been several drivers caught out in that one. That's one that everybody's going to remember for a long time. They picked their way through eventually, but that was utter madness. Now, Reggie Dewey leads the way. Second position behind him is Sean Butcher, the Australian, who is now running there in P2. I think everybody's aware how slippery the conditions are, Mr. Marshall. Thank you for the red and yellow flag. I think we know.
I always find it quite amusing when they put out a slippery surface flag because it's raining. I think the drivers can see it's raining. They've got visors on.
And they'll know it even more on slick tyres.
Exactly. But it's Reggie Dewey out front with Sean Butcher in behind. Let's just see where he brakes. No, he brakes in the middle of the corner. You can see the rubber on the outside line. So that's where you don't want to brake. So we'll move to the inside here, brake there, and then move outside and take the outside of the corner because the rubber, that's where the rubber isn't. Wherever rubber is, if you put water on it, it's like driving on ice. That's where you don't want to turn in or brake on the rubber.
You know, they've got about 7 or 8 different interpretations as to where the good line is, as Dragon Pinson, 4th in the championship, is trying to work his way up the order, but there's about 12 different lines the drivers are taking, depending on how they feel comfortable. But you're absolutely right. The ultimate line is to come off the rubber, brake, go back to the other side of the outside line, and then coast through.
You do, of course, have to overtake, though. So to overtake, which is what Sean Butcher's trying to do here, you pretty much got to go on the rubber and take a bit of a chance. So you need to get your braking over and done with before you turn in, and then go down the inside and just hope that you don't spin off or run into the driver on the outside. So you can see Reg here round the outside of the turn. Sean Butcher follows him through, can't quite get the acceleration off the corner.
That's Matthew Hudson in 3rd position, trying to make up ground as well on the Coles Racing kart number 41. Now, Westover has rejoined. He did come back on the circuit in the right place, so he isn't going to get Dr. Lap, as far as we're aware anyway. We haven't heard any investigations or anything about it, so as things currently stand, he is set to still win the championship because of where he currently is. Basically, he needs to bring it home in a relatively decent position, but he doesn't have to take too many risks, which is why it's such a dramatic thing to see him spat out to the sidelines on the first lap, because that could have been game over.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed that he's not going to finish the season. It's stolen. Reg Dewey on the rubber. You can see as he turned on the rubber, he says there's a slow vehicle on the track. That's what the white flag means, and the slippery surface flag out there as well. So Reg is now down to 3rd. Matthew Hudson's gone through to 2nd, and Sean Butcher's taken the lead. So we're estimating Louis Westover's points there as Reggie Dewey goes up the inside of Hudson, gets 2nd place back. We're estimating Louis' points because we're not absolutely certain at the moment. We don't have the live timing working where Louis is in the race. So we're pretty sure those are his points as things stand.
Well, looking back to the man in 4th position, that is going to be, well, the 4th position man is the 25. That is at Max Jean. But then in 5th position, as we've got a slow-moving kart there, that's the 39 of Matthew Herbert having difficulties. But the 5th position kart, would you believe it, looks to me like the 47. That is Alex Lloyd, who spun on that first lap.
You're right, Jake. It is Alex Lloyd, and it is an unbelievable comeback. It's a Johnny Edgar-like comeback. When Johnny Edgar spun up at Rara for the British Open, I think it was in 2013, was it? Something like that.
Oh, contact!
And came back through the field to win it, but Reg has just about held on to second, but only just.
Yeah, that was Hudson trying to get past Max Jean and Reggie doing the same movement. Yeah, that is Alex Lloyd. Alex Lloyd is there in P5. He's done a full pirouette. He's pointed the right way. He's got the kart moving, and clearly on slicks in the wet, he's not bad, actually.
Incredible comeback try for Alex Lloyd. He'll be happy with this.
Well, this is, of course, something that the drivers will be able to use in terms of their skills and their arsenal in this particular race. That's the estimated championship standings. Westover on about 912, we think, compared to Butcher, who's 2 points ahead of Dewey, and only 6 more back to Dragon Pinson in 4th position. But what's that old adage with British karters? When it's raining, go out onto the kart in slick tyres, because it will help you one day. This is that day.
On practice sessions, yeah, used to do that with my son, no doubt about it. I remember at Glanigor's Park one day, absolutely bucketing down, brand new set of slicks, sent him out. He said to me, what's the point? I said, the point is when it starts raining and you're on slicks, you'll probably win by half a lap, which is what he did. Dragon Pinson makes the move and makes that stick.
Several drivers, of course, now use that same tactic that Stevie Tadei once, of course, employed as standard. Most drivers I speak to in British karting nowadays, they will take any opportunity to go out on slick tyres when it's absolutely bucketing it down with rain, because whether you're first or last, you learn so much in the experience. You become a better driver overnight, as several drivers now jostling for position down the main straight. This is going to be interesting if they sort themselves out. They have done so, but it's the 95 who's impeded there. Nelson King, the rookie, who comes off second best. There's the 42. That's Shane White trying to move up the order as well.
You can see it stopped raining, Jake. It's stopped raining, and already starting to see a dry line, but certainly nowhere near the rain that was coming down earlier. It has stopped, and this track does dry out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's really good for drainage, PF International. One of the things that makes it world-class. Sean Butcher leading, second Reggie Dewey, third is the 25 of Max Jean, in front of the 41 there. Still running well, Matthew Hudson in the Coles Racing kart, 5th position. No doubt about it, it is Alex Lloyd. I'm amazed he was able to get that kart going again without losing too much time. He's, of course, fallen off the back 4, but if you look in the background, he may just come into shot, not quite. So he is there or thereabouts. But this is the battle for 3rd position. Max Jean trying his best to cope with the pressure from Hudson.
You say Jean, I say Jean.
Oh, well, let's call the whole thing off then.
Okay.
So that's
move.
a joke for the dads. Oh, as Max Jean or Jean makes his move there on the inside of Matthew Hudson to get the place back. But Hudson has stormed him and gone into 3rd position. So a great run there from Matthew Hudson to get onto the podium, and the Coles driver may just have a bit of time to close up on Reggie Dewey before the end. He's going to have to work hard to get there, though. That's a big gap to make up.
Reg Dewey, of course, is racing against the man out front here, Sean Butcher, for the championship, 2nd place in the championship. Whoever wins on the track, basically, between Butcher and Dewey, gets 2nd in the championship. Westover's got it all tied up. We're estimating his points there. We're not sure exactly where he is, but he's definitely going to win the championship. It's Butcher at the moment who will finish 2nd because he's well ahead of Dewey.
Max Jean is going to watch this battle as Reggie Dewey tries his best to stop Matthew Hudson coming through, because if Hudson does come through, that guarantees Sean Butcher 2nd in the championship. Well, Westover, look, has just done a minute .52 for the lap, desperately trying to make up as many points as he can to finish off his championship in style. Jean is now trying to close up on these guys. It's Dewey, Hudson and Jean as they battle for position into the right-hander.
This is for the last podium of the season on the last lap in Junior X30, one of the most competitive classes in karting. Great move by Hudson. Has he made it work?
But look,
no.
Sean's gone round the outside of them in the left-hander and moved up to 3rd position. Absolutely cracking move there from Max Jean. Absolutely incredible. Now Reggie Dewey having to defend on the way down to the right-hander. What a sweep from Hudson! Banzai, thank you very much, into 3rd position. Jean didn't even see him coming, and out in front, Sean Butcher clinches 2nd in the championship. He's happy with that. 3rd position in the championship is Reggie Dewey, 2nd over the line, only just in front of Matthew Hudson. And then Alex Lloyd was just beaten over the line there, but there might be a penalty to be taken into account. Louis Westover has not made the top 10, but he has won the championship. So it's Butcher from Dewey, Hudson, Jean, Lloyd and Pinson in the top 6.
It was really hard at the start because it rained, and then loads of people went off at the first hairpin, so I found myself in 2nd. And then Reggie made a mistake coming onto the straight like halfway through, and then I gained the lead and then pulled away a bit. But yeah, I'd like to thank Mick Barrett Racing, my mechanic Leon, my mum and dad and Ogden Racing Engines.
Louis Westover the champion, but look how tight it was for 2nd. Butcher, Dewey, Pinson and Wilkinson covered by just 8 points. That wraps up Junior X30. Senior X30 is up next.